Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Trigger. I bet you didn't know the hidden drawbacks of appendix carry. It's like the new kid in school who everyone thinks is cool until they actually get to know them. At first glance, it seems like the perfect solution. Sure, it sounds appealing at first. The idea of having your firearm right in front of you, within easy reach, can be very tempting. A firearm tucked away, easily accessible right in front. It seems like the ultimate in convenience and readiness. But just like that new kid who turns out to be a bit of a jerk, appendix carry comes with a whole host of drawbacks that people often discover the hard way. The reality is often far from the initial impression. And trust me, when it comes to carrying a firearm, the hard way is the last way you want to learn. Mistakes can be costly, and in this context, they can be dangerous. This isn't about bashing on anyone's preferred carry method. Everyone has their own reasons for choosing what works best for them. It's about having an honest conversation about the potential downsides of a popular trend. We need to look at all angles to make informed decisions. Because let's face it, carrying a firearm is a massive responsibility, and choosing how you carry deserves careful consideration. It's not just about convenience, it's about safety and practicality. Now, before you accuse me of being anti-gun, let's get one thing straight. I'm British. Our history with firearms is quite different from that of other countries. We settled our differences with firearms centuries ago by inventing sarcasm and passive aggression. It's a cultural thing, really. So, no, this isn't some thinly veiled attempt at gun control. It's about being realistic and understanding the full picture. This is about looking at the facts, the potential risks, and the alternatives. So buckle up, Buttercup. We're going to explore this topic thoroughly. We're about to delve into the often overlooked world of appendix carry drawbacks, because your safety and comfort are worth more than blindly following the latest trend. Let's take a closer look at what you need to know to make the best choice for yourself. Let's talk comfort, or rather, the lack thereof. When it comes to appendix carry, comfort is often the first thing to go out the window. Appendix carry involves strapping a potentially heavy and bulky object right onto your stomach, just above your, well, you know. This placement can make even the simplest movements feel awkward and cumbersome. Now, imagine going about your day, bending, sitting, eating, maybe even daring to breathe, all with that extra weight pressing against your most sensitive areas. Every meal, every time you sit down, or even when you take a deep breath, you're reminded of that object digging into you. For some folks, it's like wearing a constant reminder that they made a terrible life choice. The discomfort can be so persistent that it overshadows the benefits of carrying in this manner, and if you're thinking, oh, I'll just get used to it, consider this. Not all bodies are created equal. What works for one person might be unbearable for another. Body shape, size, and even posture play a significant role in how comfortable or uncomfortable appendix carry can be. A slight difference in body type can mean the difference between a tolerable experience and a miserable one. Imagine trying to comfortably fit a square peg into a round hole. It just doesn't work smoothly. That's appendix carry for some people. The struggle to find a comfortable position can be a daily battle. Now imagine that square peg is a loaded firearm. The stakes are suddenly much higher. Suddenly, discomfort becomes a whole lot more concerning. It's not just about feeling awkward, it's about safety and peace of mind. The truth is, appendix carry isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. What might be a perfect fit for one person could be a nightmare for another. It's a gamble, and for many, the house always wins. The odds of finding a truly comfortable setup are often slim, so before you bet your comfort on this carry method, ask yourself, is a little extra accessibility worth a whole lot of discomfort? Weigh the pros and cons carefully. Because I can tell you from experience, there's nothing fun about adjusting your holster in public. The awkwardness and the stares can be quite unsettling. Trust me, it's not the kind of attention you want. The discomfort and the constant adjustments can draw unwanted eyes, making you feel even more self-conscious. In the end, comfort and peace of mind are invaluable. Choose a carry method that suits your body and lifestyle, and you'll be much happier for it. Now let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the loaded gun pointed at the elephant in the room: safety. Because when it comes to firearms, safety isn't just a suggestion, it's the damn law. And appendix carry, my friends, throws a whole new level of complexity into the safety equation. Think about it. With appendix carry, your firearm is pointed directly at your femoral artery, your intestines, and other vital organs you probably shouldn't be introducing to high-velocity lead. One wrong move, one accidental discharge, and you're not just looking at a bad day, you're looking at a trip to the ER or worse. And let's not forget about drawing the weapon. Appendix carry often requires a certain level of contortionism that would make even the most seasoned yoga instructor wince. It's a recipe for disaster, especially under stress, when fine motor skills go out the window faster than a politician's promise during an election year. We're not talking about dropping your toast butter side down levels of risk here. We're talking about life-altering, potentially fatal consequences. So before you jump on the appendix carry bandwagon, ask yourself, is a slightly faster draw worth the added risk? Because when it comes to safety, there's no room for compromise. So you're comfortable ignoring the potential for a self-inflicted gunshot wound. That's a bold choice, but let's move on. Great. Let's talk about actually accessing your firearm, because in the heat of the moment, every second counts. Because guess what? Appendix carry isn't always the quick draw solution it's hyped up to be. In fact, it can be quite the opposite. Imagine this. You're sitting in your car, seatbelt fastened, when suddenly you need to access your firearm. The clock is ticking and your safety is on the line. Now, try reaching for your appendix while strapped into a car seat. Go on, I'll wait. Feel that awkward fumbling? It's not just inconvenient, it can be downright dangerous. That's the reality of appendix carry in many everyday situations. It's not just about the car, it's about the myriad of scenarios you encounter daily. And it's not just cars. Think about all the places you go and the positions you find yourself in. Try reaching for your appendix while seated at a restaurant with a table in front of you and people all around. Or crammed into a crowded elevator where personal space is a luxury you can't afford. Or, heaven forbid, pinned down by an assailant. In such a scenario, accessing your firearm could be nearly impossible. Suddenly, that easily accessible firearm feels about as reachable as a politician's conscience after a corporate lobbyist visit. It's a harsh reality check. The truth is, appendix carry can be incredibly situationally dependent. What works in one scenario might fail miserably in another. It might work great on a flat range where conditions are controlled and predictable. But real life is messy, unpredictable, and often involves chairs, tables, and other obstacles. And let's be honest, most of us spend more time sitting down than we'd like to admit. Whether it's at work, at home, or out and about, sitting is a big part of our daily lives. So before you buy into the myth of appendix carry's superior accessibility, take a moment to think it through. Consider the realistic scenarios you might face. Think about your daily routine and the various positions you find yourself in. Because in a self-defense situation, the last thing you want is to be stuck fumbling for your firearm like you're trying to find your keys in a bottomless pit of despair. Your safety and peace of mind depend on it.